Welcome to the Bourbon Doctors. I'm Albert. This is Derek. And today, we're going to talk Calumet. All right, Derek, this is your lovely home. This is your lovely bar. And these are your lovely bottles of Calumet Bourbon.
Yeah, a line of bourbon that I will tell you I've passed up more than I care to say. You know, I don't think I started off being a spokesperson for Calumet Farms.
A little fanboy action.
I wouldn't say I was a fanboy to start with, but I have grown to really like this line, and I would say that a lot of other people have to.
Right. In the last year, I'd say Calumet, especially that, is it the 16 bottle that has really just, everyone's talking about it. And full disclosure, Chad and I tasted the 15 last year, and we were both underwhelmed from a value standpoint, right? Not like, oh, this bottle isn't good, but for $130, there are lots of other things we'd rather buy, and perhaps there are things that we'd rather buy that are even cheaper.
Yeah, definitely. I think when you're talking about a $100 plus bottle, it's got to kind of knock your socks off.
It should knock your socks off.
Because there's a lot of other things on the shelf that you can regularly find, non-allocated things that are half the price and the similar in age statement.
Mm-hmm. Well, age statement 15, 16, and we have the 10.
Yes.
And I mean, really, like, you start talking 10 years, that's well-aged bourbon. It should be really tasty. I'm in the camp that thinks you can overage. I've certainly had some stuff that too woody, too oaky. We'll see where we are with 15, 16-year-old Calumet. Maybe the 10 is the sweet spot.
We'll find out.
So we're not going to blind these today. We're just gonna taste. We're gonna sample a little, and then we'll see if we have a clear winner. Then maybe we can blind that up against something. We'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna drink some bourbon. You want to start with a 10 or you want to start with a 16?
Let's start with the 10.
Okay.
Let's go youngest to oldest.
Youngest to oldest.
We should say this is, I believe, mostly sourced whiskey
from
Bardstown. So 100 proof, 10 year. You know, I guess when you're thinking about it, you could put this up against like a Eagle Rare.
Yeah.
Also 10 year, maybe a little bit less in proof.
Yeah.
Your Russell's is going to be 10 year, and you can get the 90 proof, you can get the 110 proof.
Mm-hmm.
So some comparable
things for sure.
And if we're talking about value, this was $75, $70 at our local store.
Did I get a cherry on that? A little. Yeah.
This has been open for a couple weeks. I think it's definitely evolved a little bit, but I will say this is maybe a little bit. It's a little light in proof. It doesn't have much lasting. It doesn't stick around very long.
You're right. It's very light.
Yep.
I wouldn't have thought that this is 100 proof.
Yeah.
I proof-wise, if you asked me, I'd say, this is 85.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think you're sitting 80 to 90, but says it on the bottle. I don't think
I believe the label. It's just.
And I think if you do side-by-side color check, you can definitely say that this is lighter.
For sure.
Yep. And again, 10 years in the bottle or in the barrel versus 15 years in the barrel. I mean, you can see there's a clear difference.
Yeah. And there's a clear difference in price too.
Yeah, exactly.
So, this 15, honestly, on the nose, the first thing I got was Buffalo Trace products.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why. I recently had a Old Rope 10 year that I opened up, and on the nose, that reminds me of that.
And 5 years in the barrel has, I think, redeemed this.
There's a lot more oak on this
Yep.
and a lot more finish.
Yep.
Now, if you told me this is I think 107, 108, something like that.
Yeah, what do we got here? 105.
105. That 5 points in proof should not make any difference, but I feel like it does.
And this is really interesting from a proof standpoint, because you're not going up significantly in proof, but I would definitely say there's different qualities to this. There's staying power. There's probably a little bit more fat or more barrel influence. It's going to be pulling more of those esters.
Certainly more barrel influence. Absolutely. And it's just got a little bit more complexity to it.
Yeah. I'm getting amazing, like, there's like a little bit of tobacco and leather at the end of it.
Yeah.
If you compare that with like the nice, that's more on the finish, mid palate. It's probably a little bit more your classic bourbon. I get some vanilla. There's that cherry on the nose and on the.
Yep.
I like it a lot. All right.
There's significantly more finish to that. I mean, it really just hangs on your tongue, especially on your back palate. This was it's just underpowered.
Yeah.
You know, even though it's not a proof thing, it's a flavor profile thing.
And what a difference a year can make. Now, my sense would be that this is a 50 barrel blend. This is they say 19 barrel blend on this one, and this was also a 19 barrel blend. We're getting an extra point of proof and an extra year.
For an extra, how much money?
We're talking an extra $20.
Okay. Which, I mean, the general rule of thumb is 10 years or $10 per year, or I guess in this case 20.
Yeah.
A similar profile on the nose.
Yeah, definitely, and sweet. It's a very sweet nose.
It is. And I think that's probably where I'm pulling that. That's how I think of Buffalo Trace products too.
Yep, I would say this is maybe a little bit. The 15 was more fruit on the nose. This has got a little bit more candy to it.
And this certainly has. You can just tell that 1 year of age does impart more of the barrel char, more of that back palate.
This is outstanding.
This is pretty darn good. I have to say this is pretty darn good.
I think we're both saying the same thing, which is the 10 is good, but it
doesn't hold a candle.
Yeah,
really.
not to this 15 and 16. Now, do you have a clear? Can you say that one is better than the other? Does the $20 extra dollars make a big difference?
Well, I think the difference is subtle. I do think I like the 16 better, but again, that's very subjective. Is it worth $20 extra? My guess is if we weren't sitting here going glass to glass, I wouldn't know the difference.
Probably not. I would agree with that. Then it's one of the nice things about doing flights or even sometimes when you blind things, you might surprise yourself on what you actually pick or pull out. I think the other thing is, having them side by side, you get to evaluate them a little bit more critically, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking extra year, extra proof point, and then you have to, the value equation really comes into play too. Is this $20?
So this is 75.
75.
This is 120.
120-ish.
130-ish.
Yeah.
140.
I think 140 is
okay.
About it.
Yeah, honestly, I think the 15-year might be a touch sweeter, but really hard to distinguish. If they're both sitting there, I don't save your $20 and spend it on something else. Get a bag of chips. I don't know.
Yeah. Some Coke to maybe blend these with.
Yeah. I prefer to blend it with Dr. Pepper.
Oh, that's fair.
It's the 24th flavor.
Yeah, fair enough.
Do you have a clear winner?
I don't. And again, I think I'd be naive. I would be really just maybe a day would make a difference in which one I pick.
For sure.
But I don't know if I have a clear winner between the two. I think they both have amazing qualities. I think the finishes are very similar. So I think what you're really deciding for me is, do I like the fruity?
Mm-hmm.
palate on it more? Do I like the more candy palate on it?
Yep.
That's how I would kind of slice it. And again, different days are going to yield different responses.
I can see that. All right, but you got to pick a winner.
I'm going to go with the 16 then.
Okay, so that's 2 of us for the 16. Chad and I, when we tested the 15, when we were done, we poured a glass of Knob Creek 12 and said, damn it, this is better than both and it's half the price. You have a bottle of Knob Creek 12 there.
Just happens to be sitting here.
Do we do a formal blind?
I think we have to.
Okay.
Part 2?
Part 2. Here we go. We have some Knob Creek 12. We have some Calumet Farms 16.
We got to prominently display this.
Display. You know, that bottle came out, 2-3 years ago. It's still one of my favorites. I don't drink it nearly enough because there's so many things to drink, but I'm always happy when I go back to it.
And you know, if Jim Beam happens to come upon your YouTube channel and is looking at this, go ahead and bring back the cast strength.
Oh yeah, I still have one of those too.
I love the 100 proof. Don't get me wrong, but man, those cast strength 12
really
years
delicious.
That might be the sweet spot for Knob Creek products.
If you can find a Knob Creek store pick, even at the 9-year,
yep.
they're pretty darn comparable. But that. Never mind the 15. I don't care about the 15. Give me the 12 and a cast strength.
Okay.
That's what I say.
Just offended half your viewers.
That's okay. Well, I've offended them before. It's not the first time. And I know people have done this too. We're using the New Orleans glass, not a sponsor. I don't know how I feel about nosing out of a New Orleans.
I think you have to tip it more.
I think my nose doesn't fit in it as well. I don't know.
Do you know anybody that could fix that?
That's really nice.
It is.
That's like candy sweet. There's not as much finish, I think, on that.
Yep, I would agree with that.
But that is a lovely bourbon. I can't get anything off the nose off this.
I'll buy more Glencairns.
This one's way more wood, way more finish.
Yeah.
This is a shitty blind, I think.
Yeah, it's not a great blind.
It's not a great blind.
I think it's more of just what do you prefer?
It is a what do you prefer, unfortunately. Boy, this was... I still say, I don't know, I think the Calumet Farms now, today, right? Because I've done this once.
Yeah.
It's just got more complexity to it than this 12-year does, which, usually 12-year, man, it's a great age for a bourbon.
Now, I will tell you that this 12-year that I picked up was $55. Okay, so we're talking half price.
Half price.
So
almost a third.
You want to do an equation? Yeah, you're right. It's is it 2.5 to 3 times better than the Calumet Farms? I think we both know it's what, right?
Yeah. This is Calumet Farms, right?
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not. I'm not stupid. That's Calumet Farms.
Exactly.
Blinded but not blinded.
So I think what you're doing is you're making a judgment choice based on value at this point.
Yeah. The Knob Creek 12 it's just sugary sweet. It's and you and I both are Jim Beam fans, so
Beam team for sure.
Yeah, right. At 1/3 the price, I'm taking this all day, every day. I'll stock up my bar. That does not mean that this isn't this. If you take the value out of it,
yep.
This is probably a better bourbon. Better is really subjective, but it's just the complexity is a little bit more. Agree with that. To me, this is just sugary sweet, a little bit of peanut.
Yeah.
This is...
If you want tertiaries, you want leather, you want
it's this
tobacco, you want that finish that's kind of got that classic bourbon, like this has been aged for a very long time. Yeah. It's gonna stick around a very long time too. Like it's gonna stay with you for a while.
If you want a bourbon journey in a glass, it's probably the Calumet 16.
Drink responsibly. If you're gonna have one,
yeah,
I'm probably gonna take the Calumet Farms.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be social for a couple hours and I'm gonna maybe fill up my glass a couple times, I might take the Knob Creek.
Again, full disclosure, huge fan, love me some Knob Creek 12. It's delicious. But this is just got more to it. And I can't believe, we're arguing over 12 and 16-year-old bourbons here. Yeah. We're not talking like the Old Forester 80, 86 or whatever it is.
No.
This is all good stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a real winner or loser here. I think it's, that's...
the losers are the people that don't seek out these products. Maybe the winners are us because we're drinking them right now.
Yeah. So on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
I think Chad would be super upset with us for not saying here's a clear, definitive winner, but I don't know.
I thought we are the winners, right?
We're the winners.
Yeah.
I like that. And you're the winners for watching. Thanks for sticking around. Like, comment, subscribe. Remember, we have t-shirts and hats and glasses. You should buy some. I don't know. If you want the channel to keep going, help us out.
I love these t-shirts, by the way.
The t-shirts are really nice.
They're soft. They're the type of shirt that you want to wear. They're,
Thank you.
I live in them.
See? There you go. All right. Remember, bourbon is for drinking. Thanks again to Derek Gearman for hosting. We'll see you next time.